Alright, so if you haven't seen my last video, I managed to get my hands on the True Catalyst Nitro Pro leg pads from Lefevre. I am not gonna lie, I love these pads. I did not expect to love them as much as I already do, and they're likely going to be my main pad moving forward. Now, as someone who desperately needs a financial advisor, and is also OCD with their equipment, I'd be lying if I didn't say the thought of purchasing the matching blocker and glove did not cross my mind. I am currently on the fence with this, and it mainly revolves around the glove. My current set of pads are the Bauer Supreme Mach. What got me into this set ultimately was the Mach glove. Up until that point, I had been using Lefevre gloves for years, going back to the Reebok days. My Eflex III glove was by far the worst glove I have ever used. No matter what I did to break it in and countless on-ice sessions, I can never get comfortable with it. Here it is now, and it's completely unusable. Going back to the Mach glove, this was perfect from the second I put it on in store. Unlike my Eflex III glove, my Eflex III blocker is still intact and in decent shape. Blockers were never an issue with Lefevre for me, and with this, I've decided that before I make any purchases or anything, let me just skate with the blocker, see if I still like the feel of it, and we'll go from there. Before getting into the Eflex III blocker, I just want to say, this rink I got to skate on was awesome. Shout out to my buddy Eric for skating with me at 7 in the morning for this. He's a former ACHA D2 player and absolutely murdered me during this session. Lucky for me, you don't get to see that. Anyway, the Eflex III blocker felt great. I was very impressed with how well this thing holds up basically 9 years later. There was a tiny bit of adjustments to be made. A lot of times early on, I was getting pucks off the shaft of my stick right above the blocker, where I feel like with my Mach blocker, it would have hit the top of the blocker itself. These blockers have different attack angles, and the Mach is much more curved at the top compared to the CCM. Looking at this footage too though, my blocker hand positioning is a little sus and could probably use some work as well. Overall though, I was very happy with the performance of it. Does it have the pop of a Bauer blocker? No. But still, pucks are pretty hot coming off of it. I love the mobility of the blocker too. There's absolutely zero restriction within the cuff. And again, keep in mind, this is all from Lefevre's model from 9 years ago. I wish, and I even thought I'd have more to say, but at the end of the day, it is a blocker. They're pretty simple. I think Lefevre has it right. I've never had an issue with these. And yeah, after the skate, I did in fact take the plunge and go order the matching custom gloves for the leg pads. Okay, so as for the specs and what I got, we'll start with the blocker. The design and colors are obviously going to be matching my leg pads. The L87 design is timeless and one of my favorites I have ever worn. Now, for the legit specs and makeup of the blocker, I decided to go with the classic 595. Large palm, half-piece cuff with a Nash palm texture. For the index finger protection, I went with the straight option, and I also went with the newer Opti angle for the board face positioning. Moving on to the glove, again, matching colors. Now, for the build of the glove itself, I went with a 600-degree break angle. I did this because my Mach glove is a 600. I also believe the Eflex III glove was a 600 as well. Ultimately, I'm just sticking to what's comfortable for me with my most recent glove. I'm going to be staying with a double T pocket, skate lace on the netting, and as for the protection, I went with Game Ready. I'm trying to have the least issues when breaking this thing in as possible. I know Game Ready isn't the most protective, but I play once or twice a week. I think it'll work for me. So yeah, this is going to be a long 10 to 12 weeks of waiting. There definitely will be more videos on the gloves when they arrive, so subscribe if you want to see those. That is it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.